coming out here lets me know that America is the most divided country ever. Out here, these niggas is one. Everybody here is one. Like, I feel safer here than I feel in America. I can walk around. I might get robbed, but it ain't no robbing out of hate. It's robbing out of need, you know? Niggas will rob you in the U.S. out of hate. These niggas out here rob you out of need, nigga. I robbed you because I needed it, nigga. Not because I don't like you. It's just because I needed the shit. Gotta respect it. And it's like, hey, man, you damn right, bro. Go ahead, man. Get on out of here.
Yeah, I think America is the most dangerous country there is, to be honest. I don't think Nigeria is as dangerous as America. Nowhere near. You get robbed out here for sure, but niggas ain't splitting no wigs like that you do in America. So if anybody is thinking about coming out here, just pull up, bro.
Okay, you guys, so DDG is in Nigeria and he's loving it, honey. He's saying, things are just so better in Nigeria. He's saying, if you get robbed in Nigeria, someone will rob you out of need, but not out of hate. And he's saying, being in Nigeria has made him realize that America is not safe and everything is just so peaceful and calm in Nigeria. I understand where he's coming from, and I agree with him. Nigeria has its own problems, but most of Nigeria's problems, they are internal. They're not prone to terrorist threats and terrorist attacks as the United States is. And we all know that America has a reputation. But while I agree with him, and I'm not a citizen of the United States, I think it's yin and yang, and I also believe that when Black people travels to a Black man land, oftentimes they naturally feel at peace when they realize just how different it is from America. We see the same expression with people moving to Jamaica. And the thing is that everyone trashes their country. Jamaicans who migrate to America, they trash Jamaica. And I'll say this based on everything that DDG has to say. While I agree with him, I believe that for anyone to truly assess a country, remember that upon arrival, everything can be super impressive. And then as the year passes, you'll realize that some things are not, so easy, right? Take, for example, Jamaica got hit with a Category 5 hurricane. And since the pandemic, a lot of Americans, it's not just Americans that have been moving here, but when you look at the numbers, Americans are the majority. We have people from Russia, we have people from Australia, all parts of the world, right? Especially we have our Ghanaians and Nigerians. They have been rolling in, honey. They have been rolling in. But when they come here, it's as though they're not coming to a foreign country. It's as though they're coming to home part two. Because when they come to Jamaica, they're like, oh my God, it's like I haven't left Nigeria. It's like I haven't left Ghana. It is like everything is just so relatable to them. And while there is culture shock for them, they feel right at home. So with the Nigerians and the Ghanaians or anyone from the continent of Africa in general, they never have that kind of culture shock when they move to Jamaica. Versus an American will have that kind of culture shock. They'll be like, everything here is so different. Even when you eat the food, you feel better, you're healthier and all of that jazz. But while Jamaica is impressive, when Hurricane Melissa hit, the Americans who were in the West and the Northwest, many of them, not all of them, they had total meltdown, crash down, and they were out of here. Some of them, right? And it made some of them realize that no matter where you go, every country has its own problems. Even though the main perpetrator who ran out of here crying and saying, oh my God. So there's this lady, she's an American, and she was like, no electricity for 10 days. No this, no that, no that, no that. And I have to head back to America. And, you know, she went back and she was like, I'm in America now and I have my AC and I have this. I just went to the salon. I got my hair done. I got my nails done. She's back in Jamaica because reality has set in for her once again. She's saying, you know what? The time that she ran from Jamaica after Hurricane Melissa, she shouldn't have upped and left because, you know, it was a challenge that, you know, she was defeated by, and she should have stayed and she should have taken the lesson, because the people who stayed are now even more appreciative about life and understand the tropics and the subtropics better, the way of life in the tropics and the subtropics better. So my point is, as to what DDG is saying, while what he's saying is true, you know, because if that is his experience, that is his experience. And when a black man visits a black man land and you realize that, oh, the volume on the racism has toned down and people are just people and people are more warm and people are more inviting, while I understand all of that, you know, and while what he's saying is true, he also needs to acknowledge and realize that Nigeria has their own set of problems, just like America does. And if he's going to stay there, because he's saying he wants to stay there, I Show Speed wants to stay there, they need to realize and be mentally prepared that there will be times and there will be weathers in Nigeria, just like in America. But, you know, I have to say that the black men will always survive better, and they'll always feel often, let me not say always, they'll often feel more at home in a black man's land because the volume on racism has turned all the way down. And he'll always have a brotherhood in the black man's land. That's one thing he's going to always have. And he's going to miss the culture when he goes back to America, because when you're in a black man's land, the rhythm is so loud. The beat of the drums are so loud. The rhythm of the music is so different. It speaks to you. It literally does. And you'll hear languages that you're hearing for the very first time, but for some reason, even though you're hearing the language for the first time, you understand majority of what they're saying. Even though you're hearing the language for the first time, it will resonate somewhat with you. And it's true. It is true. I can tell you, I haven't seen or heard a African language that I'm not able to partially understand. Even if it's the first time I'm hearing it, I can understand some of what they're saying. Don't ask me how, but I can understand some of what they're saying. But for DDG, you know, it's good to see him having that experience. DDG and I Show Speed, they have people over on TikTok reacting to their videos and crying. And so many people want to go to the motherland now. So many people want to get that experience. But you have to understand and also take into consideration that it is different strokes for different folks. Everyone reception of things, it's quite different, you know? No, I see some people from Australia in Jamaica, and let me tell you, for some reason, when the Australians visit Jamaica, they don't want to leave. The Australians, they're always overstaying, but we don't deport people so easily. You have to be like someone who overstays excessively, like 2 years or so. Even when you have overstayed past your time, we don't deport people that easily. But the Australians, they're out. The Americans do overstay too, But the Australians, they overstay and they're always in the bushes. Oh my God, you know why they're always in the bushes? Because there's no deadly dozen. They can just roam around. I think Australians just love the greenery. They love adventure and they appreciate whenever there's somewhere they can adventure into without their life being at risk. But, I see you Australians. Many of them are trying to get work permits to stay here and to work. So shout out to you. Some came just before the hurricane and they're not leaving. They've decided that they're going to stay. Some of the Americans who came here and was crying about the hurricane, they're still here. But this video is all over the place, ain't it? But it's okay. But, kudos to DDG and his experience in Nigeria. And I do hope that many more Black people get the experience of living in a Black man's world. It's really good. Trust and believe it is.